below. This is lesson 7, which is to do with the indicators that we use. This is the final step. So anytime we take a trade, we'll just quickly flick through these indicators to see if they are all in our favor. So understand that the indicators have got up here. This is a 5-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, and then this one is a multi-frame indicator. So it doesn't matter what frame you're looking at, this particular indicator will work on it. So I'll go through this one first. So it's basically a CCI stack, right? So what this means, how do we read this? We've got two levels. We've got the plus 100 and the minus 100 level. So if price is above, right, if the indicator is above plus 100, you can consider going short. And if it is below negative 100, you can consider going long. So you can just do, you know, you can see here the peaks here. This one here, it was above here. And then the low here, price was below. So that would be permission to go long. This one here is below, so that's good to go. Let's look, this one here, yep, that one here was below, that would be a nice one. This one here, same at the high, again here. So the way that we use this black line, the black line is where if price comes up towards the line and the indicator is showing above like this, then that is a very strong situation to go long. It's like here, it's the same, it's the opposite, right? So the indicator shows accumulation below here, and the black line is coming down to the negative 100, so that would have been a perfect, this is ideally how you want to see it. But the black line we can be flexible with. Basically what I look for is price to either be above or below the minus 100. If the black line is coming down or up to these areas, that is an additional bonus. Okay, so that's the CCI stack. Now I'll show you what these CCI, I'll show you it now actually. Although it only works in the 5 minutes. Okay, so this is the settings, because obviously from the indicator, it was written to work on all time frames, but if you apply this will apply only to a 5-minute chart. Okay, so you got to remember that. So what are the settings? The settings is, the first one's 40, and then I've got it looking like that. The next one is this one here, which is the 120, and those have got settings like that. And then finally, this is actually the black line, right? So, and that's the 480. Okay, so I should actually make that black, but I never look at this because I just look at the combination. So understand this is the black line, right, that I'm talking about. So if price is, but if indicator is below here like this, and then you might be waiting for the black line to hit the extreme here before you take the long, and you just check that everything is still below it is, you're good to go, right? That's how you work this. Comes to Bollinger Bands, you've got different settings depending on the time frame that you're on. So here, for example, in the 5-minute, these are the settings for your Bollinger Bands. You've got a 240 on the reds, and for the blues, 20 on the blues. So basically on here, you look for either a crossover. So what is a crossover? A red crosses blue, or blue crosses red. These are particularly powerful when you get a crossover in a TD box. Okay, so be aware of that. Obviously, we're interested if price hits the extremes, right, of the Bollinger Bands, and these things line up too. So that's the settings for the 5-minute chart. The next one, I've got another 5-minute chart here, and what we look for here is the MACD. This is the MACD, which is, the settings are 1226, pretty standard, and these are the colors that we use. On this one here, I look for divergences, right? Divergences. What's a divergence? Okay, so the divergence that we look for can be on the previous high, like here. So we can see that's made a higher high here, indicating that there is no divergence. You can see here, right? The other thing we look at is P2. P2 on a red line is here. So this, we'd want to see if there is a divergence, and you can see that made a higher high from here, the same. So there's no divergence in this particular one. The next one you want to look at is the slow stock, and this is the thing here. So this is how you want to plot it, 14.3, and those are the colors that we use. And all we look for here is that if you want to sell it, you want price to be above this green line. If you want to buy it, you want price to be below the red line. That's it. That's all I read on that. Okay, so that's that one. The divergences you can also use on the CCI stack, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but so here you can see on this chart here, that's the red line. We've got a P2 here. So can you see how here, this high, I made a higher high. Okay, so there's no divergence. This one here, no divergence. Although there is a divergence from this pivot to this one, because price made a higher high, but the indicator shows it made a lower high. Yep, it made a lower high. Okay, so that's a factor. Okay, so that's it really. Pretty simple. Like I said, the only one is this one, which is a combination of the CCI, and it will work on multiple time frames. Okay, that's it.